U.S. and Philippines deploy forces and weapons near Taiwan. Hello, and welcome to our video on the recent deployment of forces and weapons near Taiwan by the U.S. and the Philippines. As tensions continue to rise between China and Taiwan, this deployment has the potential to escalate the situation further. In this video, we'll delve into the reasons behind this move and its possible consequences. For many years, the relationship between China and Taiwan has been fraught with tension. While China claims Taiwan as a part of its territory, Taiwan considers itself a separate nation. This has led to numerous conflicts and disagreements between the two countries, with China often using military intimidation as a means of exerting pressure on Taiwan. Recently, the situation has become even more volatile as the U.S. and the Philippines have deployed forces and weapons near Taiwan. The U.S. has sent its U.S. Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group to the region, along with several other warships, while the Philippines has announced that it will conduct joint military exercises with the U.S. in the area. The deployment of these forces and weapons has been met with strong condemnation from China, which sees it as a provocation and a threat to its national security. The Chinese government has warned that it will take necessary measures to safeguard its sovereignty and territorial integrity. So, why have the U.S. and the Philippines deployed these forces and weapons near Taiwan? According to officials, the move is intended to deter China from using military force to reunify with Taiwan. The U.S. has stated that it is committed to maintaining peace and stability in the region, while the Philippines has said that it will defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. However, the deployment of these forces and weapons has raised concerns that it could further escalate tensions and even lead to a military conflict. China has made it clear that it will not back down in the face of what it perceives as a threat to its national security, and it has the military capabilities to respond forcefully. With the deal, Washington has stitched the gap in the arc of U.S. alliances, stretching from South Korea and Japan in the north to Australia in the south. The missing link had been the Philippines, which borders two of the biggest potential flashpoints, Taiwan and the South China Sea. The deal, which in part reverses the U.S. departure from their former colony more than 30 years ago, is no small matter. There is no contingency in the South China Sea that does not require access to the Philippines, says Gregory B. Poling, director of the Southeast Asia program at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington. The U.S. is not looking for permanent bases. It's about places, not bases. The U.S. already had limited access to 5 sites under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA. The new additions and expanded access, according to a statement from Washington, will allow more rapid support for humanitarian and climate-related disasters in the Philippines and respond to other shared challenges. Likely a veiled reference to countering China in the region. The statement came after U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met Philippine President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. in Manila on Thursday. The U.S. hasn't said where the new bases are, but 3 of them could be on Luzon, an island on the northern edge of the Philippines, the only large piece of land close to Taiwan, if you don't count China. Tensions in the South China Sea are escalating, as both the United States and the Philippines have deployed forces and weapons near Taiwan. This move is seen as a response to China's increasing military presence in the region and its aggressive territorial claims. China has been conducting military exercises in the South China Sea, claiming sovereignty over vast swaths of the area, including islands that are also claimed by Taiwan, Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines. In response, the United States and the Philippines have been conducting joint military exercises in the region, including deploying fighter jets, warships, and other weapon systems near Taiwan. Officials in both countries have stressed that the deployment of forces is meant to ensure regional stability and deter any potential aggression from China. However, China has criticized the move, calling it a provocative act that could increase tensions in the region. As tensions continue to mount, the world watches with bated breath, hoping that diplomacy and dialogue will prevail over military posturing and escalation. For now, the United States and the Philippines remain prepared to defend their interests in the region, while China continues to assert its claims to the disputed territories. The situation in the South China Sea remains fluid, and only time will tell what the future holds. The F-15 Eagle is a powerful twin-engine fighter jet used by the United States Air Force for air-to-air combat. However, with the right modifications, it can also be used for carrier-based operations. But landing an F-15 on an aircraft carrier can be a risky affair. The F-15 is not designed for carrier landings and requires significant modifications to make it possible. There are many factors that can turn a routine landing into a disaster. One of the biggest risks is the pilot's ability to handle the jet in difficult weather conditions, especially in rough seas. Landing on a carrier requires the pilot to hit a small target area with precision. If the pilot misses the target, the jet can crash into the sea, causing serious damage to the aircraft and endangering the pilot's life. Another major risk is the landing gear. Carrier landings put tremendous strain on the landing gear, and a malfunction can cause the jet to veer off the deck or worse, crash into other aircraft parked on the deck. In addition to these risks, there are many other factors that can turn a routine landing into a disaster, including mechanical failures, communication errors, and even human error. So as you can see, landing an F-15 on a U.S. aircraft carrier is no easy feat. It requires a highly skilled pilot, top-notch equipment, and favorable weather conditions. Any misstep can result in a disaster that can cost lives and millions of dollars in damages. In conclusion, the deployment of forces and weapons near Taiwan by the U.S. and the Philippines has the potential to escalate an already tense situation. While it's important to deter China from using military force to reunify with Taiwan, it's equally important to find diplomatic solutions that can maintain peace and stability in the region. We hope that all parties involved will work towards finding a peaceful resolution to this issue.